everyone to the Unwrapped Leader, where we get raw, real, and relevant into the new network marketing so you can become a gifted leader in your business. My name is Dracy Dewar here in Australia, and I am here to do episode 93. In 93, I have chosen the topic to be about the procrastination fix. Yes, stop procrastinating and get yourself into productive mode. I want to take a deep dive into the habits that actually hold us back and explore some actionable steps that help you overcoming productivity or procrastination so you can have more productivity. Okay. Been in leadership now for well over 30 years. And so you can absolutely imagine the amount of leaders that I've worked with over the years and how many leaders we've worked with that struggled with procrastination. So not only talking about procrastination for yourself, but you as a leader helping your distributors and your business builders, as well as your leaders, to overcome procrastination. So I do believe you're going to have a lot of fun on this episode as we unpack 7 reasons why people do procrastinate and give you 10 tips on how you can actually conquer it. And so right now I wanted to say, yes, procrastination is something that has been there for all of us. We've all experienced it. And it's whether we're putting off a daunting task or delaying a project or waiting until it's last minute. Procrastination, I know, affects all of us in different ways. But why do we do it? And so that's why I thought we'd take some opportunity to actually break this down. And so number one, I'm going to start off with lack of motivation. When a task actually feels dull and challenging, insignificant, and we kind of find a lack of drive in tackling it. Sometimes the chore or task feels like a needle in the haystack, as well as we struggle to even get started or even complete it. So number one, lack of motivation. Definitely, I guess that one is in line with our values as well as being in line with our passions. And sometimes there is parts of this job that may not just motivate you. So we'll have to look at how we're going to tackle that one. Attack that one. Okay. Number two is just the fear of failure. So many people follow into the fear of failure. They dread maybe not meeting their expectations, or whether or not they feel frozen in their tracks because they're just afraid to begin, because they are paralyzed and prevent themselves from taking action because they are just afraid of the failure part. And I know this is a really common practice for a lot of people. And we usually know it comes pretty much more down of maybe the fear of actually succeeding. And so we know that's a really big part of procrastination and holding people back. Then there happens to be the one of perfectionism. You know, people are relentless to pursue this because their flawlessness leads them into stalling or just fearing to take any missteps that might tarnish, their reputation or their work. So they actually delay even starting the task or avoid it completely because they do not want to make mistakes or fall short of their high standards. And you guys know who you are, those perfectionists out there, those of you that are more into perfection versus progress. And so we need to work on how we can address the fear of the actual perfectionism in there. And then number 4 happens to be time management. That plays a huge role in a lot of people underestimating a time actually needed in a project, or just struggling prioritizing tasks that can leave people scrambling for that last minute part, and people can create anxiety around all the pressure that happens with last minute. And so time management is a huge one. If you don't got good time management skills, hugely could affect you in procrastination. But let's not forget about self-discipline. Without a strong grip on what our impulses are and how we can stay focused and eliminate distractions, could easily derail us in our progress. And the lack of self-discipline or self-regulation could be the word. Without this ability to manage impulses or stay focused, it actually may give us the I guess the ability where we get distracted and we delay our work. So self-discipline is a very strong one in procrastination. And then we go into the culprit of being overwhelmed. I know this one, a lot of people face a task, it can become very daunting and allow us to feel a little bit lost. Especially nowadays, social media can really put us into that state where we feel that, the task could be too large or quite complex, or more importantly, we just feel overwhelmed and unsure where to even start. And that feeling of being overwhelmed can lead to procrastination in a way that we completely avoid dealing with the task 100%. And I know we've talked about this in the past where we talk about it completely puts you into a state of frozen. And we know we talk about it that Frozen really is just a really good movie. And the moral of that story is letting it go. So again, how do we address, getting into that state of being overwhelmed? And so the seventh and last one happens to be, of course, immediate rewards. Who can resist the instant gratification of putting off work for something better and more enjoyable coming out? Procrastination also can be reinforced by the immediate rewards and avoid a task because something more enjoyable has come up, like watching TV, scrolling on social media, or just simply doing nothing. So I just wanted to share, I've done a study, probably for the last 25 years working with leaders. And part of the study is those that do struggle with procrastination. I've asked in the room what's holding you back? And a lot that usually say procrastination, it usually come down to it. I would ask this question: what are you currently reading? And usually the answer was something that was fictional, interesting enough, and it wasn't something that was helping them in self-development or growing or going in their business in any sort of way. So that is what has been very consistent in procrastination. Just 1 minute. So I ask you this: what are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? And especially now that social media has taken over a huge part of our lives, what are you scrolling? And so I wanted to talk a little bit about this, on not to fear from all of this lack of this procrastination, that there is hope, you guys, because once you understand what and why you're procrastinating, that really is the first step to change. And so I want to help you break free of this grip that procrastination can give you and give you some really practical tips to help you get started. So are you guys ready for this? I had a lot of fun doing this topic. I'm not even sure what inspired it this week, but something came up about procrastination. I think somebody was talking about they were procrastinating, and I thought, I gave them a few tips on, getting out of procrastination. I thought, this will make a really good podcast. And those of you that are leaning in, listening in, last week I did coming back from holiday mode to get into work mode. And some of those tips are definitely really helpful. So if you haven't seen or listened to that podcast, please go back. It's number 92. And it's definitely has some helpful tips. But now I'd like to get really specific, because I know that procrastination is something that we all deal with. And I just know if you get a good understanding and the underlying reasons of why procrastination, and you really get a chance to address these issues and develop some really good strategies to overcome this behavior. Because we know you want to succeed in your business. The thing is you may not put the sense of urgency on it that it needs. Maybe, again, like we said, you're being overwhelmed, or for whatever reasons holding you back, lack of discipline. We want to help address that. So breaking down some of these tasks, I want to talk about making them smaller, more manageable steps, get very specific, help you with deadlines, and as well as help you create a conducive work environment where you can really get things done. So without further ado, I really want to talk about some of these tips. And number one, as we said, is understanding why you procrastinate. When you can reflect on these reasons of why you have a tendency to procrastinate, understanding these will help you address the reasons why a little bit more effectively. And so this is what I like to ask you. Are you the kind of person that is motivated by inspiration, desperation, or deadlines? And so one of the things that was really good is a book. It's called The Four Tendencies. And it's by Gretchen Rubin, and it's a really good, effective book because she puts it into four different types of personalities and how we address getting things done. She actually even does a quiz, and the quiz helps you break down to whether you are she says, whether you're an upholder, meaning you are inspired by internal and external motivation to getting things done. She also talks about the questioner, whether you question things because you need to know why you want to get things done. And if you understand your reason why you want to get things done, it'll help motivate you and stop you from procrastinating. Then there's the obliger. And the obliger is someone who does it because of external reasons. And so whether it's through recognition or for whatever purpose externally, they do it to helping the bigger cause. And if the reasons aren't there to help support somebody who is an obliger, again, they will end up procrastinating. And then the last one is the rebel, the one that doesn't need external or internal reasons to get things done. They would probably get things done more out of a challenge or being challenged to do it or being told they could not do it. But I think it was really helpful when you can address yourself, because there's positive reasons for every one of those four personality types, but there's also challenges, I guess, a reason that's not so good about that, what holds them back. And when you can address and assess that one, it really, really is helpful. As well as, I guess, taking on what we do, like a SWOT analysis. As a gifted leader, we do the gift analysis. And in the gifts analysis, as we talked about, what are your gifts? What are you good at? But what are the things that you need to improve on? And again, assessing yourself quarterly is really helpful. So I highly recommend, what is the opportunities that you have in front of you, and what is holding you back? What is that threat, and what kind of support do you need? That is pretty much a really good formula to, once you understand your reasons for procrastinating, helping to overcome it. So number 2 tips is going to be breaking tasks into smaller steps, no matter what. We know there's great things about this business, and there's things that may not be things that we like to do. But if you break them into smaller, more manageable steps, it'll feel less overwhelming and help you get started more easy. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, network marketing has 3 objectives. Number 1 is new customers, new recruits, and new leaders. And so if you're not doing these 3 things, then your business isn't going to grow in the direction or the size that you want. And so the 3 major tasks is knowing that's the objective, but breaking down into your daily method of operation into smaller tasks. So if you need a new customer, you're thinking, oh my God, I need a new customer. You don't know where to go, but break it down. What do you do to get a new customer? How do you engage? What's the daily practice? Where are you going? What is it that you're saying? Breaking them down. So if it's 10 new customers you want, let's focus on that one new customer. So that was tip number 2. Tip number 3, again, is setting specific goals and deadlines. Notice I put the word deadlines in there. And so if you've assessed yourself as someone that's inspired by inspiration or motivation or desperation or deadlines, it's just really good, because the ultimate word that we're looking for, once you've made a very clear picture of this in completing your task, is creating a sense of urgency. So again, if you know how you're motivated, it definitely makes a difference. Now, in my earlier days, I was motivated by desperation. I knew if I didn't do this, what was going to happen. And what was going to happen was not going to be food on the table. Me going out there and developing my skills and getting new customers, getting new recruits, and getting new leaders was the difference between me putting food on the table or not. As I've matured and grown and got a very big income, well, it kind of changes. I'm now motivated by inspiration. So what are the things that inspire me? And what inspires me, again, is going to go down to my why. Why am I doing this? What makes a difference? And then some of us do get things done based on a deadline. So if you have an event or something specific, putting a deadline for yourself. That's why events are really good. Conferences are really good, because they help you motivate yourself to achieve something before that next event. And again, if you assess what type of person you are, whether you're an upholder, a rebel, an obliger, that also will make a difference in you setting deadlines for yourself. Again, the key word in this is sense of urgency, creating a sense of urgency. A customer, a recruit, or a leader, creating that sense of urgency for them. Sense of urgency is a skill set. So I highly recommend, if that's something you don't do, if it's like, oh, whenever it happens, it happens. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, versus if it's meant to be, it's up to me. It's a skill set. Put that down on your gifts analysis of something you want to improve on. I know it'll make a huge difference in procrastination, growing your business, and becoming the gifted leader that you're meant to be. All right. Number 4 happens to be use a timer. Time management. It's called my personal one. I've talked about it before, is the Pomodoro technique. This is about doing things in working in short focused bursts of time using a timer. And the Pomodoro technique is where you work in 25-minute segments and you take a 5-minute break. So if you have a task to do, you got a to-do list, is breaking it down. This can really help you stay focused, and it helps you make progress on your tasks. Number 5, create a conducive work environment. An environment that helps you minimize distractions, creating a work environment that allows you to stay focused. Now, for me, I need a clean work space. I can't get things done unless I do. And then when it gets really messy, that means, okay, it's time, because I'm avoiding my office. That is important to me. Maybe it's also turning notifications off on your phone or setting boundaries with other people. One of the things I found when you work for yourself, family thinks you're just working at home. They can come and stop anytime. That was really important for me to set boundaries, have work hours for myself. And also, though, to have work hours for myself is set time up for me to have fun, so I can reward myself. And so that's a really big, and that happens to be my number 6 was reward yourself, setting up a system for rewards for completing tasks, making progress, celebrating your achievements helps you reinforce positive behavior. And one of the things about this business, again, as I said, your business is either growing or it's going. And that is always going to be based on new customers, new recruits, new leadership development. So reward yourself. I always say praise progress, reward results. And so it's not just for you, it's for the people on your team. It's helping them set up a reward system so you can reward them and keep them going, and identifying, again, what type of tendencies they have will help you on how you reward them. And number 7 is prioritize tasks. This is really important because if you help you identify what's the most important tasks and you prioritize them, this will help you focus on completing high priority tasks before moving on to less important ones. And I guess this comes down to your daily to-do list and prioritizing them. I think it's really important. And so I just wanted to kind of share something with you guys. We all want to prosper. Okay, we're always looking for the prize. And I call this the P's of prosperity, the P's of winning that prize. And so when you understand your priorities, then you can plan. Once you plan, then you can prepare for what you want to do. And when you do this, this will allow you to focus on the things you're passionate about. And in this business, you are passionate about the products, the people, the programs, even the promotions. Again, really getting yourself wrapped around those things, because when you do that, this is what's going to allow you to prosper in your business. And it's all about this P, and this is the P of practice. Okay. And so what is it that you need to practice, fix, and adjust? And one of the things, and this is number 8 in procrastination, is practicing self-compassion. And that is being kind to yourself, because when you do slip up and you may procrastinate, I think it's really important to avoid self-criticism. This is important. It's about instead focusing on learning from your experience, finding a way to improve. And this is where it comes down to progress. This business and growth is progress. And this helps eliminate those of you that are perfectionists, out there. It's something that you need to learn. And that is, you're not going to make any money being perfect. So we always say speed, not perfection. If you want to make money in this business, fix and adjust, have an open mind, and just be really kind to yourself and focus on progress. And then that leads us into number 9, and that is accountability, seeking accountability. When you share your goals and deadlines with either a friend, a family member, a colleague, or even your upline, this can really help you become accountable. Having someone to check in with really helps you stay on track. And so that puts us onto number 10 is if you have to seek professional advice, that would be hiring a coach or whatever that looks like. Procrastination can significantly impact your life and well-being. So consider finding extra support, whether it's a life coach, maybe it's even a therapist, or again, working with your upline. If they are living and leading the kind of life you want to live, I highly recommend go to them for support to help you overcome this behavior so you can be the best person that you're meant to be. And so I hope you guys have enjoyed exploring the ins and outs of a procrastination. I'd love to hear your comments in there. It's important, as we talked about, from the underlying causes to actionable steps so you can overcome it. Whether, most importantly, if it's just about you breaking down some smaller steps or getting more specific on your goals and deadlines, or maybe even procrastinating, as we said, self-compassion, you can conquer procrastination and unleash the potential of you as a leader. So I just kind of remind you guys to overcoming procrastination. This is a journey. It's not a destination. I want you to be patient with yourself, but don't hesitate to seek the support if it's needed, because together we can break free from the grips of procrastination and take the steps that we need to become the gifted leader you are in your business. I want to recap with 3 things. The gifts analysis that we have, it's a free gift for you. We'll have it in the show notes. You can get it on our website. Go and recap yourself with the gifts analysis. I'll even put the link to the 4 attendancy quiz. Go and do the quiz. It will really help you. And number 3, if you are really struggling, book a free call with me. I'll actually call it a PF call. In other words, a procrastination fix call. Happily do a quick call with you guys if you feel that you need that added support to see what is holding you back and put some actionable steps in place. So thanks everybody for this episode. Please like it, share it, comment it. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please go and subscribe, ding, ding, ding. And if you're listening in on podcast, whether it's Spotify or Apple, a 5-star review really helps us, and it helps us assess and scale what is next and what we can be sharing with you guys. So you guys have a great day, and remember, you are a leader waiting to be unwrapped. Have a good one.